Okay, guys, you should have worksheet number 1 in front of you. I'm going to go through those first 3 examples on the top of the front page. If you remember last week on Thursday when we were going through homework assignments, at the very end you had these 2 problems where you had to complete each extended proportion. A proportion is when you have 2 ratios set equal to each other, and a ratio, remember, is a comparison of 2 quantities. So it's a fraction is how we write them. So on 45, 8 over 12, we talked about how you could put an x and a y in for these blank spaces and use cross multiplication to find those values. Or I said you could simplify the original ratio. So if I simplify this by 4, I get 2 over 3. And then just multiply to get my blank. So 2 times what is 6 times 3. So then I need to take my 3 times 3, and then I know that this has to be 9. I need to make 12 equivalent to 2/3. Well, 2 times 6 gives me 12, so I need to take 3 times 6, which gives me 18. Okay, so ratios, fractions, you can write them, different ways. You're taking them times the number. So if I have the ratio 2 to 3, and I take each of them times 6, like I did up there, I get the ratio 12 to 18. They're the same ratio. One is just simplified over the other one. All right? So looking at your example here on number 1, it says a telephone pole 7 meters snaps into 2 parts during a windstorm. The ratios of the 2 parts is 3 to 2, the ratio of their lengths. We have to find the length of each part. Okay? I have this ratio 3 to 2. Remember, you can use the word 2, or you can write it as a fraction, 3 to 2. I can multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same value, and it's still going to be the same ratio. It's just not simplified then. In this case, I'm taking them times x. So I have the ratio 3x to 2x. So if I look here, my telephone pole is snapped into 2 parts in a ratio of 3 to 2. Well, instead of 3 to 2, I'm going to use this 3x to 2x. Okay, it's not drawn to scale. The pole is 7 meters tall. We have to find the length of these 2 parts. Looking at it, your light pole is like a segment. You're going to use your segment addition postulate. So 3x plus 2x has to equal 7. Combine like terms, 5x equals 7. Divide both sides by 5, and you should get x to be 7/5. Now that's not the length. We have to substitute that back in. So 3 times 7/5 would be 21/5. And 2 times 7/5 gives me 14/5. If I put those as decimals, this is 4.2, and this would be 1.8 then? Nope, 2.8 meters. And 4.2 plus 2.8 gives me that 7 that I needed. They had to add up to 7. Okay, so you can multiply by the same value and it'll still be the same ratio. Example number 2. The ratio of the measures of 2 supplementary angles is 8 to 7. Find the measure of each angle. Supplementary. What does it mean if 2 angles are supplementary? Good. They have to add up to 180. So I know that these 2 angles are going to add up to 180. Well, that means they're going to make a straight line. Okay. This ratio, 8 to 7, I could also write that as 8x to 7x because I took both sides of the ratio times x. Let's pretend that this is the 8x angle, this is the 7x angle. Together, they form a 180. So you have an equation. 8x plus 7x equals 180. Combine like terms. 15x equals 180. Divide by 15, and x equals 12. Okay, that's your x value. You still have to go back and find the measure of each angle. So plugging 12 in, 8 times 12 is 96. 7 times 12 is 84. If you add 84 and 96 together, you would get 180. Ratio of the lengths, or the angles, excuse me. Third one. The perimeter of a triangle is 120 centimeters. The lengths of its sides are in the ratio of 5 to 9 to 10. Find the length of each side. Perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. How do you find perimeter of something? Great. You add up all the sides. So I have this triangle here. And the ratio of their lengths is 5 to 9 to 10. I'm going to do just like I did on that other one. I can rewrite that as 5x, 9x to 10x. So these are representing the lengths of the triangles, or the lengths of their sides. Well, just put them on there. 5x, 9x, 10x. So now I know the three side lengths. Well, the perimeter is 120. And you guys just said perimeter is the sum of all the sides. 5x plus 9x plus 10x equals 120. 24x equals 120. Divide both sides by 24. 5. Yeah. X equals 5. To find the length of each side, I need to substitute that in. So 5 times 5 is 25. 9 times 5, 45. 10 times 5, 50. And these values should add up to 120. And they do, so we're good. What do you call a triangle? Where the three sides are different lengths? Scalene. Nice job. This is a scalene triangle. Okay. The rest of this worksheet is your homework then. Okay. Don't worry about doing number 20, the very last one. Okay, I'm not going to make you do number 20. And yeah, okay, good luck. Use your time wisely, please. Behave.